Boulder's top stories this week. Workers ride into the office on two wheels. Boulder's Energy Future team assesses potential risks. And local bands compete to be the opening act at Ralphie's Independence Day Blast. Hi, I'm Natalie Wood. Boulder was a hot spot for workers and bikers on June 22nd when an estimated 5,000 people rode their bikes to work. Participants told Inside Boulder News why the highly anticipated community event is something to love about Boulder. It's an event the community looks forward to every year. Socializing, eating, and of course, riding to work on two wheels. With 48 breakfast stations in Boulder, participants say it's easy to have some fun before the workday begins.
I've seen Spring Creek Bluegrass Band was at one of them. One of them had a bike wash. One of them had at Ideal Market. You could turn in your old socks and get a new pair of Smart Wool socks.
I think I've hit 4 this morning and I have 2 more to go to.
Boulder's great breakfast stations with food and prizes offer an incentive for people to ride into work without burning gas. The event has been taking place in Boulder for 35 years, and Walk and Bike Month director Sue Prant says Boulder has used its success to help other communities start the program.
All these other communities saw how Bike Week and Bike Month helped get more people on bikes, and they've sort of taken the initiative and done very similar activities. And we get calls from other communities all over the country, asking about what we do and trying to use our programs, and we're more than happy to share so that people can replicate our success.
Many Bike to Work Day participants say the ride through Boulder is something that can't be beat. Along with the numerous trails and bike paths, there's also an overwhelming sense of community.
It's fun when you stop at a stoplight and you get to talk to people and you say, "Morning, how you doing?" Where in your car, you can't really do that because you're in the big box of steel and glass, but it's a real community here.
And Boulder's sense of community and support for biking to work creates a desire to do it more often.
We also anecdotally get stories every year like, I tried it for the first time, I'm hooked, now I do it.
Enjoying the fresh air and having fun on your way to work gives something for commuters to love about Boulder. Bike to Work Day in Boulder is a much-loved community event every year. Tell us what you love about this unique town at loveboulder.org. As many residents know, the City of Boulder has been taking a close look at possible ways the community might get their energy in the future. Council is moving closer to deciding what ballot items it wants to present to voters this November. But one question the city has been hearing a lot has to do with the potential costs of forming a local power utility and the possible risks associated with that option. Inside Boulder News recently spoke with the city's Regional Sustainability Coordinator, Jonathan Cohen, to learn more.
Hi, I'm Andrew Barth here with Jonathan Cohen. Jonathan, I've heard the term cost model being used during this project. Can you tell us a little about what the cost model is and how this applies to the project?
Yeah, sure, Andrew. So the City of Boulder, of course, is undergoing a lot of analyses to understand what it would actually cost to start up and operate its own utility. And so a cost model is just that. It's an industry standard that looks at what all the costs might go into running a utility and how that translates to cost and then rates for us as ratepayers. So as we've developed our cost model, there are known costs and there are a few variables, things that we're going to, that we put in our best estimates, and of course we'll have to get refined numbers to plug in the future so we have an actual cost of what it would cost to run the utility.
Okay, so I heard you use the term estimates. Can you tell us when the city might have some hard figures to plug into those models?
Yeah, so I talked about a couple variables, and there's actually 4. So there's the acquisition cost of actually purchasing the distribution system from Xcel. There are potential stranded costs. There's the potential of adding the costs of the Smart Grid City project. And then there's the actual bond rating of what it would cost to actually issue bonds to purchase the system. So because of the law and the way the law is set up right now, Xcel Energy is not required to provide accurate figures in those 4 areas. So once there is a vote that authorizes the city to take the next steps, then we can actually start the process with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission and with Xcel to actually get refined numbers to plug those into the cost model.
Interesting. Okay, so once these numbers are entered, is there still an opportunity for council or the community to change its mind?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I mentioned an authorizing vote, and that's what is potentially maybe on the ballot for voters' approval in November, and Council, of course, is still deliberating that. But once there's an authorizing vote, it does not mean that a new utility would be created. It again allows us to access those numbers, allows us to look at the cost model once again, and there's going to be multiple opportunities for community input and off-ramps for Council to say it just does not seem as feasible as it did in the early stages, and now as we see the cost model tells us it may or may not warrant moving forward with the next round of the project.
Sounds like City and the City Council have a lot to think about, and we look forward to hearing what they decide. For Inside Boulder News, I'm Andrew Barth.
The next Energy Future discussion will take place on Tuesday, June 28th from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at East Boulder Community Center. Residents are encouraged to attend and participate in the public forum. The City of Boulder's Open Space and Mountain Parks Department is expanding a parking fee program to new trailheads in Boulder. Parking fees have been in place for more than 20 years at trailheads on Flagstaff Mountain, but starting on June 27th, OSMP will also implement fees to trailheads at South Mesa, Dowdy Draw, and Flatirons Vista. This is a pilot program that will be reevaluated in early 2012, and it only applies to vehicles that are registered outside of Boulder County. Motorists can pay by cash or check using a locked box at the trailheads. At the end of the program's test period, OSMP will decide whether to keep the program, expand it to include other trailheads, or end it. All money raised for the program will go to OSMP for system maintenance and future enhancements. With the month of June nearing an end, the community is gearing up for summer's most colorful holiday. The 4th of July is right around the corner, and along with mesmerizing fireworks, Boulder also celebrates by hosting Ralphie's Independence Day Blast, an iconic community event. This year, the event is getting a twist by giving local bands a chance at a huge break. The annual 4th of July Fireworks Committee is holding a YouTube band competition to choose this year's opening act. Make sure to check out the winner by attending Ralphie's Independence Day Blast at Folsom Field. Gates open at 8 p.m. That's all the time we have for this week. You can connect with Inside Boulder News on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions. Just search for City of Boulder Channel 8. I'm Natalie Wood. Stick around for more Inside Boulder next.